Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem, Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Monday, July 15th, 2024. There is a lot going on in our world, especially right now, and we are coming together the way we have every single weekday for the last 4.5 years. It is broadcast 1093. Thank you, Penny. It's good to see you. Adele, nice to see you too. Debbie and Rachel, good to see everybody. Hi, Isabel. Linda and Sharon, Judy, good morning. Hi, Peter. Sending love all around the world to where everyone is. Today is a very important day. Today is part of the week of goodness that has been launched by families of hostages so that we can surge goodness into the world. I'm going to be saying this a few times, friends, but this is an emotional moment for us. We are a community that has come together for a very long time for being, in a fragile world. We have managed to remain stable and to find each other and to love each other, to take care of each other, to turn a digital platform into real relationships, to be all over the world and yet to be here, and deciding that even in the digital landscape, even through Facebook Live and Instagram Live, we have managed to be real. There is a here. And if we can do that, we can do anything. And so there's a lot to say. We're going to make a blessing. We're going to have an extended broadcast learning the Parsha today as part of the week of learning. But what I really, really want to say, even just as we get started, is that I pray that the magic we have used to turn the zeros and ones of computer code into a real place of learning, a real place that we can use some of that magic today and send it into the hearts of all those making decisions to bring our family home. And if we could send this magic to the hearts of those still in darkness, we have not forgotten them. Every day we call them out. Every day we wear them on our hearts, in our souls. We see them in our eyes. And so let this be a week of goodness, a week where we do more and more good for each other, where we commit ourselves to raising all the sparks and to knowing that things that are invisible are still real. So I'll say more about this, but let me greet the rest of us and then sing a bracha with all of you and get started together. To Anu Start, welcome. You're not live on Facebook, but you are live here on Instagram. I'm glad you're here too. All right, friends, let's see who's here. And as we do this, please, I'm going to ask you, especially today, to write over and over in the comments your prayers for the hostages. The goodness of your soul lending itself with explicit words to the intention that we have been bringing for the last 283 days since October 7th. So, Patricia and Arlene, Roberta and Deborah, Barbara and Sylvia, good to see you. Robin and Andrew, Judy and Candy, Linda, Debbie, Boker Tov, it's good to see all of you. Cecile Hineni, me too. I'm here with you. Sandy Hineni. Linda, it's good to see you. Candy, welcome. All right, friends, we're going to keep on praying today. We're going to keep on connecting to our family, to all of Am Yisrael, to the whole world, surging goodness into the world during this week of goodness. Here we go. So if you do me a favor, even if you know this blessing by heart, even if you've heard it 1093 times, let's take a breath and bless the world like we've never blessed it before. There's more goodness. There's more hope. There's more strength. There's more love right now. במצוותיו וציוונו לעשות בדברי תורה, לעשות בדברי תורה, הפוך בה והפוך בה, לעשות בדברי תורה. Friends, if you're just joining us, this is our regular broadcast that we have done now 1,093 times. It is also day 283 since October 7th. Today, led by the families of hostages, is part of the Week of Goodness. Last night at First Station Tachana Rishona in Jerusalem was a phenomenal, heart-shattering and heart-healing gathering of song, of prayer, to see thousands of people in Jerusalem singing Lu Yehi, if only it could be, let it be. To hear them singing Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, we are one family, all of Israel. This is a week of goodness, friends. I'm going to read the decision, the way that the movement for this week was launched. I can see Marcia just posted the link to weekofgoodness.com. You can find out more there. And I want to remind you in advance that at noon today, New York time, we're going to be having an extra class to add even more Torah learning into our week. We'll be doing it on Facebook Live and, if possible, also on Instagram. Today is part of the Week of Goodness, and we are going to bring all the goodness we have inside of us into the world, to cultivate it in each other. And this is how the language of the Week of Goodness was created. Week of Goodness, redeeming our hostages through good deeds. The families of all the hostages have been running to the ends of the earth to do everything possible to help save our loved ones, but we have yet to see the result we want. We have decided to dedicate 1 week from July 14th, yesterday, to July 21st to surge goodness into the world. Below are some of the efforts we will be undertaking: volunteering, studying, giving charity, praying, singing, and more. Join us or commit to your own benevolent actions. We are living in a fractured period, and our beloved hostages are in unimaginable darkness. Help us repair and bring more light into the world. So friends, learn, give, love, help. Be a part of all of this energy. My dear friend, Israel Campbell, is with us on Instagram, and he is at the home of the Baal Shem Tov right now. If you believe in magic, first of all, Israel is magic, and where he is was a place that believed that human beings could actualize great goodness through righteousness. You're at the kever of the Baal Shem Tov, at the grave of the Baal Shem Tov. Oh, Yisrael, do me a favor. Friends, if you don't know who the Baal Shem Tov was, he was the founder of Hasidism. He was a simple person who turned out to be a profound founder of the belief that we can change the universe through our deeds, through our learning, through our love. Yisrael, if you'll do me this favor, pray knowing that you have all of us. You have hundreds of us offering our hearts to you in a holy place, so that you can carry our intentions through your own as you pray for the hostages too. Thank you for sharing that with us, for bringing us where you are. Okay, we're everywhere, friends. Where Stan is in White Plains, and we are where Israel is at the kever of the Baal Shem Tov. I'm so moved that you're there, Israel. Thank you. So, we committed today to an extended Torah learning, and it's a good It's a good parsha to believe in magic, to believe that we can make things happen. We really can. It's Parshat Balak. And the summary of this parsha, the really simple sum up, is that Balak is the name of the king of Moab. And he is afraid of Bnei Israel. He's afraid of the Israelites because, having been redeemed by God from Egypt, a story that was told all over the ancient world, and as Israel continued our journey to the Promised Land, everyone around us knew that we had conquered, we had escaped from the center of the universe. The most powerful place was Egypt, and God was on our side. Now, let me pause from that biblical landscape and recognize that together we cannot see ourselves as a world where only some people win. That is a place of inevitable war and increasing darkness. But that is, in some ways, the way the world feels. There's no question that war exists, and we cannot be so naive as to not prepare and think about the world in realistic ways. But when I tell this story from this parsha, it's not about perpetuating the dysfunction. It's about learning from the model that the Torah so bravely offers over and over, not flinching from the complicated parts of the narrative. So Balak is a king who is afraid of Israel and knows that he cannot win militarily. No people, not the strongest, not the other tribes, no one can defeat Bnei Israel, not if God is on their side. And so, this is what Balak does. He hires a mercenary prophet. And I want you to hear that language. Don't dismiss it. Don't say, but the Torah only believes in one source of power. Well, that might be true in the deepest of ways, but that's not the way the Torah presents itself. So Balak the king sends messengers with lots of gold to hire Bilam the prophet. We know about Bilam from reputation and also because he occurs throughout the Torah as a character, and then in the rabbinic imagination they go lots of directions. Balak hires Bilam, but he tries once, and Bilam says to the messengers that the king has sent, I can only curse those that you, God, have me curse. And I can only bless those whom God would have me bless. So I can't help you. God is with Bnei Israel. God is with the Israelites. I can't do anything. And then they leave. Then they come back with more gold. And they say, will you? And Bilam says, Linu po halayla, stay here tonight, and I will talk with God tonight and give you my answer tomorrow. Now, if that sounds like something that would be inauthentic for a non-Israelite, please know that the Torah says that that night Bilam did talk to God and said, you can go with them, but remember, you will only be able to say what I, God, put in your mouth, prophet. In fact, that's much of the role that prophets served. If you remember, Moshe, when he's called to be the liberator, says, no, I won't, no, I won't, no, I won't. Eventually, God says, yes, you will, over and over. And when Moshe avers the final time, God says, fine, I will make you an Elohim to Paro. I'll make you a God, which is what the Pharaoh was seen as by his people. And I will make Aaron your brother, your prophet, which means that the prophet is the spokesperson of God. It's not the only purpose of the prophet, but being the spokesperson of God means you're not speaking your own words. It's one of the great fears that the Torah and the rabbis have, because when people appear and say, God spoke to me, this is what God says, how do you know that they're real? How do you know that they're authentic? People who claim to be spokespeople for the divine abound and are often, well, not moored in this reality. But the prophets were, and Bil'am in the Torah was. What a remarkable thing it is for the Torah to tell us that there is such a thing as a non-Israelite prophet. Now, when God says to Bil'am in this week's Parsha, you can go, but remember, you can only say what I put in your mouth, Bil'am goes. And then a remarkable thing happens. As Bil'am and the messengers are going, Bil'am is on his donkey. The donkey sees something that Bil'am can't. There is an angel blocking the path with a flaming sword. The donkey sees it, but Bil'am the prophet does not. Doesn't that say something? Doesn't that say something? And Bil'am is angry at his donkey and kicks it, and then kicks it again. And the donkey is just trying to avoid the angel with a fiery sword. And eventually, God makes a miracle happen, and the donkey speaks. The donkey speaks to Bil'am and says, "Why are you hitting me? I've been a faithful donkey to you." And Bil'am's eyes are opened, and he can see the angel with the outstretched sword. And he apologizes. Now, why there is an angel with an outstretched sword and why he's able to go to be hired by King Balak after being told that he couldn't, the story is so strange. But so too, friends, is our world. Here we are in a world where maybe you think you see things clearly, and maybe other people say, "Don't you see?" Now, I don't want to spend too much time today talking about the events over the weekend, but I do think it is important for us to know that no matter how viscerally anyone disagrees with any political candidate, the way I feel about the world cannot lead me to do violence against someone who disagrees. That is not what the world is meant to be. And if I could be so bold, even a donkey knows that. Anyone who resorts to violence in the name of their truth is like someone who Rabbi Erwin Kula, my teacher, describes. He says, if I believe I have more God than you, I'll go get a gun. This is so important. It's not clear to me what comes next. And this is not the place, nor does UJA function this way, nor should a rabbi speak this way, as if to say there is only one truth that is God's. That's the way the ancient world worked, where if I defeated you, then my God is stronger than yours. It's like the Battle of Troy, where the gods fight, where the people fight. No, there is one God. And one of the core messages of this week's Parsha is that one God is the one that holds us all together, in whose image we are all created. Some things should be more obvious to us than they seem. Even a donkey knows what is not the right way to go. We have to allow ourselves to open our eyes one more time and understand the limits of civil behavior, what holy actions mean in this week of goodness, where we are absolutely attuned to bringing more good into the world. We should not give up on our political principles and our values that sometimes are fierce in our disagreement. Hi, Moshe Tzvi. I love you. It's good to see you. We can't give up on those things. We're not supposed to. This can be a machloket l'shem shamayim. These can be disagreements for the sake of heaven. The heroic man at the rally in Pennsylvania who protected his family and who was killed by a bullet, by hate. He was protecting his family. There's nothing holier than that. There was an emergency room technician, a doctor, who tried to tend to him, couldn't save him. But at that rally, which, just being clear on a very personal level, I would never have gone to. It's not the way I believe politically. But those were good people. We disagree fiercely. But disagreeing fiercely is actually a covenantal relationship. We have to take a Hippocratic oath of citizenship, which is do no harm. Do no harm. This is going to be a rocky period of time. And in this Parsha, we see a rocky period of time. The Israelites might be feared by all the other tribes, but it is clear that the Israelites don't have so much confidence in themselves. Just last week, in the Torah portion, in Chukat, they lost Miriam, their leader. They lost Aaron, their leader. And they provoked Moses so much, he showed great anger and hit the rock. And when Moses lost his temper and hit the rock, God punished Moses publicly. The stability of the people is on the line. That is a place where we look at this Parsha and we look at each other and we look at this world and we know that the world does need more goodness. This is part of the week of goodness. For those who joined us since the beginning of today's broadcast, we are part of a worldwide movement praying for the hostages to come home with an extended Torah broadcast now and then one at noon. It is clear that there is work to do to repair the fabric of our universe. But let's focus our souls and our hearts and our prayers and our learning on what it is to see the obvious, which is that people should not be stolen from their homes. And 283 days of captivity is 283 days too long. These are children and grandparents, babies and families, that for 283 days we have been praying for. Even a donkey knows that that's just wrong. And so, based on the determination of the families, we are going to face this fractured period of time that we live in and recognize that our beloved hostages are in unimaginable darkness, and we are going to add our hearts to all of the efforts of their families to bring them home now. So I want to take a second with you. Not because we have the answers, not because we've learned the whole Parsha. We will be learning all week long. But I'm going to ask you to pray. I'm going to ask you to give those prayers words. Share them in the comments, in the text. Write to your elected representatives. Write to your friends. Write to your family. Post on social media. Scream to the universe, friends, with goodness in your voice, about what this moment calls for, which is the release of all of the hostages. Freedom for all of the hostages. Anyone with eyes, anyone with a heart, anyone with a soul knows that they should be home and should never have been taken. 283 days. So I'm going to sing a song of healing. El Narafan Alan. Please, God, heal them. And while I do that, please write with your words the prayers of your hearts. It's hard to say with any certainty what prayer can do. But, oh God, please bring them home. Restore our loved ones to their families' embrace. Help them stay strong. May they have a full recovery inside and out. May Am Yisrael, both the Jewish people all over the world, Medinat Yisrael, our homeland, all of the citizens, Jewish and Muslim and Christian and Druze, may they know peace. May the people of Gaza have leaders who lead, who tend to their health. May we find a way forward that doesn't look like this. May these 283 days not continue growing in number because the hostages are home and the fighting has stopped. May the families of the hostages feel all of our love surround them. May people all over the world remember to think the best of each other, knowing that goodness is the way, that healing is needed and possible, and that everyone, everywhere, should be blessed to have leaders who lead with heart, who lead with kindness. This Parsha, God, reminds us that magic is real, that prayer matters, that a connection with the divine is possible, and that goodness is the goal. God, please bring them home now. In the merit of our learning, in the merit of all the learning going on all over the world right now, bring them home now. Amen. Let's send our hearts to the east. Kolon maleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefate mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia on lo avda tikvatenu hatikva bat shnot alpayim liot am chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim liot am chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. Some of us will see each other at noon for some extra learning today right here on Facebook and Instagram. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, friends. Am Yisrael Chai.